Hey guys, Wolfie here, and welcome back to the channel. As always, the usual disclaimer. Any opinion here is mine and mine alone. So, I am doing a first impressions on one item. I literally just got done filming a product review. So, this particular video is a first impressions for another item that I do have. And I will have the Amazon link to that in the description below if you want to try it out on your own at some point in the future. Now, if you're wondering what this is what's known as the DARIO blood glucose monitor kit. This is right here is what I got from Amazon at the time. It's a starter kit. I managed to buy additional items like test strips, additional lancets, all that good stuff. Now, for this particular item, I will mention here that Amazon does have a couple of versions of this. This will depend on your exact mobile device, meaning that if you have an Android device like I do, there is one for Android. There is a version of this for iPhone users, and that's pretty much in a bit of a nutshell. So and the reason why I mentioned the type of devices because there is a part in this particular device where it's like you actually plug it into your device, then you put the test strip in, then you give like a very small amount of your own blood to do things like testing your blood glucose source, etc. So this is about $35 or $36 in Amazon. Like I said, I will have the link to this in the description below, so that way you guys can look at it on your own time. So again, when I got the starter kit, it came with about 25. Okay, so the starter kit here came with about 25 lancets, 25 test strips, and a few other cool items. And the reason why I got this is because it's portable. It's like I didn't, want to carry too many things with me. In case people are wondering, I'm considered pre-diabetic, so that way I could test my blood sugar in a way where it's like, okay, I need to I can either cut back on sugar or I need to eat some sugar because my sugar levels are so low. So it's one of those items where it's like, and if you're not diabetic, I would still recommend having something like this around, because you never know, you could be having diabetic levels and you don't even know it. So this is one of those things like, okay, I need to make sure everything's a-okay. So the way this works is that you have the white side of the whole item which is facing me in the sense of me filming it. So the white side that's facing me is where you hold your test strips, and the orange side is where the lancet goes. Now, the type of gauge for the lancet, I believe it is a 30 gauge. So you're gonna need 30 gauge lancets should you be running low. And when it comes to something like this, it's like you don't want to stick to your starter kit. You want to make sure you get the starter kit and additional lancets and test strips in case you run low on one of those unexpectedly. So that's a bit of a nutshell right there. So again, there is a particular item within this product where it's like you can plug it into your cell phone. You have to have the DARIO app up and running in order to do so. And make sure you're following all the promises. Okay, make sure everything's within range, which I believe is from 80 to 110. So this is a first impressions video, not a full-blown product review. So far it took me a little bit of time, to really get the swing of the whole aspect of making sure I drink enough water. I'm not dehydrated. My hands are clean. Everything's set up, ready to go to where I get my blood glucose checked. It's everything is a-okay. And the fact that I am pre-diabetic is just I have to monitor exactly what I'm eating, when I'm eating. And then when it comes to like doctor visits where it's like you're going to check that stuff anyway, it's like you have to fast for a while. It's like you have to drink like nothing but water, because that way it's a lot easier for your blood to be drawn. So it's more of those. So this side unit, and the reason why I say it took me a little bit of time to like really get used to it is because there have been a couple of occasions where it's like, okay, I thought I was giving you like enough blood that they need to check the blood glucose, and it turns out it wasn't the case. It's like, does it really work? I was wondering at that point, does it work only when it wants to? But it turns out like I had to really, step away from that whole thing for a little bit, think about it, change a couple of my habits here and there, and then it's like ever since, it's been working like a charm. So it's one of those things where it's like you really have to get into the swing of it. And then in addition to all that, it's like you gotta make sure you're drinking a lot of water, your hands are washed, even use some hand sanitizing wipes on your fingertips. And then it's pretty simple. And then for me, it's like the way I've been doing it, it's like I'm gonna showcase my left hand real quick. So these two fingers right here, my middle and my index, I'm not flipping anybody off, so it's my middle, my index are my two most used fingers when I do like the whole prick from this item. And it's just like, it gives me some degree of information in the sense of like, am I in range? Am I high? Am I low? That sort of thing. So it's one of those things where I will have a full-blown product review in the future. I simply do not know when. And that's only because, my overall schedule can get kind of crazy at times. So it's like, it is what it is. I'm going to try to make sure this is not too long of a video, but if it does get to a bit lengthy, I apologize. And like the last video I just got done filming, if the audio is not in sync with the video itself, please turn on the closed captioning so you guys get to see what I'm saying here without having to worry about the audio not syncing up with the video. So a bit of a recap. It's like it does take some discipline in the sense of like getting the steps like needed to make sure when you plug in the item to your phone, test strip, and then a drop of your blood, you gotta make sure your hands are washed, and possibly some hand sanitizing wipes, alongside having a lot of water in your system already. And then just make sure, if you do it at certain times of the day, that's even better. So it's a bit of a recap of that. It takes some discipline, and it's also, and then a thing I forgot to mention, it's also about timing. So that way, it's like you're not freaking out if like you're doing all the right steps and it's like something happens and it's not your fault. So, and that is all on this video. So with Wolfie here signing off, I will catch you all on the flip side.